Okay, we are finishing up with sequences and series with number patterns. Remember they fall under number patterns. With exercise 1.10, number 2C. The last three terms of the series, and then they give the series as 2, x, y, and 9. And they say the last three terms form a geometric series, while the first three terms form an arithmetic series. So this is just a set of numbers put together. But this is geometric and this is arithmetic. So I'd rather want to say this is the arithmetic one, 2x, y, and then the geometric one is x, y, and 9. Before I go on with anything else there, what does that tell me about these numbers? If it's arithmetic. So what do I know? X minus 2
is equals to y minus x.
Y minus
X.
For sure. That's with the mark, knowing what to do with arithmetic. For geometric, what do we do?
Common ratio.
So,
y divided by
y
x
divided by x
equals to 9 divided by y.
Y. The question is, if this is the case, determine x and y if they're both integers. That's important if they're both integers. So all I have is
Equation 1 and 2.
equation 1 and 2. It's a set of equations, it's simultaneous equations. So I'm going to find for x and y and put it into the other one. And remember all the funky stuff that we've already seen. Maybe this comes out to x squared is, and this one also comes to x squared is. Then we can put them together and put them equal to each other. It doesn't necessarily have to be x is to put it into x, or y is to put it into y. I'm just mentioning that again to you because we've seen it once or twice. So for this one, to get x or y alone, what's the easiest?
Y.
Y alone by saying 2x
2x
minus
2.
2. And don't get confused when you take it across with the pluses and the minuses. For that one, what would you do to simplify?
You will cross
multiply. Y squared is 9x. Please don't get that y alone, because that will mean you have to. You get the y alone, you have to square root. You don't want to do that. Leave it like that and say, okay, then this is number 2, and I'm going to put number 1 into number 2, and what's going to happen? So y is not going to be y squared, it's going to be 2x minus 2 equal to the 9x. Are you with me with my choice there? Not forgetting y alone with a root. You don't want to do that because if you root, it's plus or minus. You don't want to do more than what is asked. So in this case, we are going to have to time it out. It's going to most probably become a quadratic equation. So we have, rather write it out so that you don't make mistakes. To get to 4x squared minus 4x minus 4x plus 4, and since I know this is going to be a quadratic equation, I'm already going to go for equal to 0. It is quadratic, do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
4x squared, then this is minus 8 minus 9 is minus 17x plus 4 equal to 0, which means I've either got to do the difficult James Bond style factorizing, I can even do the formula, but now that we've got our fantastic new calculators, we are going to do it with the calculator, putting in there a value of 4, b value of minus 17, c value of 4, and what do you get the answer, please?
4.
Yeah, or?
A quarter.
Meaning, if I crook it right, what should have been the brackets?
X
Minus 4. 4x minus 1. Excellent. So whether you factorize James Bond style or whether you did it on the calculator, you got the right answer. But you need that step. You can't just go to the answer. But the question did say something. Find x and y. So I still got to go find the y as well. And if x and y are both integers, so that's going to be one of my solutions. This is perfect maths, but I can't work with that one. It's not applicable because they said so. So I'm only going to use the x equal to 4 to go back to number 1, which was y equal to 2x minus 2, and the x was 4. So the answer is 6. Done. The x and the y is found. They're both integers. I'm happy and I can carry on. Right. Okay. They're saying that 12, x, y are the first three terms of an arithmetic sequence. The moment that you know that there's a common difference. So if I know that the common difference is, it should be the same as that one. Do you agree?
Yes.
So that one should be y minus x. And then we can put them equal to each other and solve. No, I've got an x and a y. But can I not get x or can I not get y? If I go further, I'll find that 2x minus 12 is equal to y. But I'm also saying, if the difference there is 12, then here I should also be adding x minus 12. I should also be adding x minus 12. Completely different approach. If I'm saying, let me erase that. If I'm saying this is x minus 12, then this should also be x minus 12. It is y minus x, but shouldn't stay the same constantly as well. If I said that, then what is y? So I'm adding, to get y, I'm adding to x. What? Y. What am I doing? X plus minus 12, sorry. Is that right?
Yeah.
To get to y, you're again going to do this. You're adding x minus 12. You're adding x minus 12. You're adding x minus 12. So if you add x minus 12, you should be getting to y. Make sense? It's exactly what I've just written here as well. That y is equal to 2x minus 12. Right? Have a look at this one now that it goes further, except for the fact that they said that these three terms are arithmetic. They also said the first two terms. Now the first two terms is 12 and x, right?
Yes.
The first two terms also form a geometric sequence. If it forms a geometric sequence, what do you know? That in this geometric sequence, R would be
X over 12.
x over 12. That's the fact that they're trying to find. Somewhere we must know that the difference here stays the same. That minus that is that minus that. For this one, if you go on with it, R is equal to x over 12. Right, now, but now it goes on. Can I get the third term? And why would I want to? Listen to the rest of the question. If the sum of the first three terms of the geometric sequence, the sum of the first three terms of the geometric sequence, so I need the third one. So to find the third one, I'll say
X times.
yes, x times with x over 12 will give me x squared over 12. How did I get there? By taking the r and timing with it again. So it's x squared over 12. So now I'm saying that the next part of the question says, if I take the sum of the first three terms, if I take the sum of the first three terms of the geometric sequence, it will be 3 more than the value of the sum of the first three terms of the arithmetic sequence. Now, the sum of the first three terms, I'm going to substitute this y with 2x minus 12. So that's 2x minus 12, they're saying. The sum of those three is 3 more than the sum of these three. 12 and x and 2x minus 12. Are you with me? 12 plus x plus 2x minus 12. But are they equal?
No.
They said this sum is 3 more than this sum. So this one I'm writing is not equal. This is 3 more.
So you add 3.
So add 3 where?
That's side.
On that side. Or subtract 3 here, because this is 3 more. So you can either say minus 3, or you can say
Plus
plus 3, it doesn't matter. Because in any case, in an equation, if you bring it over, it's going to be minus 3 on this side. But you can't plus 3 here. It's already 3 more, So to get it equal to each other, you've either got a minus here with 3 or plus there with 3. Is it making sense?
Yes, ma'am.
And I needed this correlation between x and y because I only want an equation in x. It's not level 1, guys. Right. Are we going to get all the sums looking like this? Definitely not. So, to solve this, I have an equation. So now we've all got lots and lots of different techniques. Let's try. Maybe we should get all the x's and the numbers to one side. At some stage, I'm going to maybe LCD because of the fraction. Alternative now. I'm going to say, let's take everything to the other side. Because if I take the 12 across, it's going to be minus 12, and that's going to be gone. If I take the plus x to that side, the minus x, it's going to be gone. I'm going to be left with x squared over 12. It's just my inclination to go and do this. So on the other side, I've got 2x minus 9. Right? Agree? To simplify further, I am going to do LCD. So I'm going to times that with 12 and get 24x. Times that with 12, how much is 12 times 9? 12 times 9? And I still have a quadratic equation. So at some stage I had to get them to the same side. Maybe now thinking about it, I should have brought them all over to the left-hand side. It's okay, I'm doing it now. X squared minus 24x plus 108 equal to 0. And I'm so glad I've got the new calculator which does everything for me. A, B, and C. My answers for x is, please, 18. Thank you. So this should have been x minus 18x minus 6. And double check. Is minus 18 times minus 6 equal to plus 108? If you really wanted to check everything else, minus 18 and minus 6 is minus 24x. Everything works out fine. So that x could have been either x or 6. Now normally our inclination is, let's go test it. Okay, you don't have time for that in the exam. We hope that we are right. And the question also said, find 2 possible values of x. I found 2, I'm happy I found 2, and I'm going on. Double check, I can't see anything is wrong, and then I'll go. If you have time now at home, you can go and say, if the x was 18, let's check if this was arithmetic. 12, 18, and then this would have been 2 times 18 minus, and you can actually work out the number. I haven't worked it out, but there should be a constant difference. And if this 18 here, and this would be 18 squared, is there a constant ratio? Same thing with 6 as well. You don't have time for that in an exam. Right. Exercise 1.11, also still application of sequences and series, says, a man is injured in an accident. He receives workman's compensation from the government of 4,800 Rand in the first year, for the whole year. Shock, that's a little bit, but anyway. And then the amount increases annually by a fixed rate. So he'll get a certain amount extra fixed. They want to know, what is this increase annually if it's determined that after 20 years, you will receive a total amount of 143,500 Rand. So first of all, it sounds like we're busy with financial maths and it's not the truth. But there is an income for this guy that starts off with 4,800 Rand, they said, in the first year. And then I don't know what the D is. But I do know that after 20 years, he has a total amount of 143,500. So what are they giving me? It is a sequence series because I'm going to have a constant number, which they said just there's a constant rate that increases, so that's a D. And then I have to work out that this was my TN. SN, you're right. So I'm giving you the SN. I want to know which N it is. Or do I know the N? 20. Yes, the N is 20. What are they actually asking you? The amount that he gets extra per year. Alright, so 4,800 for the first year. So I know that A is 4,000. 800. I don't know what the D is, that's what they're looking for, but I do know that Sn is equal to 143500. And because it's a D sum, I have one of two choices. Can I use the A plus L?
Yes.
Nope, I don't know the last one.
Oh.
If only we had it. Okay? But I know that N is 20. A was 4,800. So what's different about this sum? All the words. It's a word problem, right? That problem solving. And then this should be 19, and I don't know what D is. And this, thankfully, there's only one variable, which I'm going to solve now in any way you see fit. All right, normally you guys say 10, and you say 9,600, 90D. Help me get these answers, please. Agreed? Okay. Linear?
No.
Yes, linear. It's linear, right? Happiness. And we've got subtract. How much is that, please? 143,500 minus 96,000. 40?
47,500. 7,500.
7,000.
500 years.
47,500. Okay? And if we divide it by 190,
25. 250.
okay. Because I was wondering about that 25. How come it doesn't feel so lacquer? Because yes, workman's compensation is maybe not that much, but 25 rand a month a year extra. That's just not right. Okay, that was the first part of the question. Second part of the question says, his initial expenses were 2,600 rand. I don't know for what this is, because this is just bread for, I don't know how long. 2,600 and increases at a rate of 400. They're giving me this time. His expenses started off with 2,400 and the rate is 400 a month, 400 a year extra. In which year will his expenses exceed his income? Oh my word. Now I don't know what they're talking about, but at least if you write down his expenses were what? And in the next year? Because here at least they told me that it increases with 400 rand. If you wrote that down, you would have gotten marks. Okay? Knowing that your A is 2,600 and your D is 400, and now you're sitting and thinking, what's the story? Because the question is, obviously it's more expenses because the expenses increase by 400 rand a year, while his income only increases with 250. So at some stage, the expenses are going to be more than the income, and this is what they want to know. In which year, after how many years, will his expenses be more than his income? What they're looking for?
N.
N of what? Of the Sn.
Yes, the same.
In which year? So this is year 1, year 2, year 3. This is going to be year 1, year 2, year 3, income and expenses. Which year will that happen? It's Tn. It's Tn of the expenses that has to be more than the income Tn. That's my question. It's very roughly, not very mathematically spoken, but they want to know in which year, so which term will be expenses more than income. Does it make sense that it's Tn? Think about it. But now the way I'm writing it might be confusing, so that's why this is so very important that you explain to the marker, which is not going to always be me, what you're doing there. So this is going to be A plus N minus 1B. Now remember, I don't know the N, but I do know that A is, for the expenses, 2,600, and the D is 400. For the income, I've got also, because it looks confusing if this is exactly the same as that, because you're going to know it's expenses A and D, income A and D. This A here for the income was 4,800, and the D part was 250 that you worked out yourself, obviously, that I've got to follow up on. What are you going to work out here? For N. You're going to find out the N in which case the expenses are going to start being more than the income. Alright, let's do the math. 2,600 plus 400 N minus 400 bigger than 4,800 plus 250 N minus 250. Let's get them all together. It's linear, right? So let's take this one to that side. We're going to have, am I right? 400 N minus 250. Let's add together 4,800 minus 250 minus 2,600 plus 400, or however you added it. Please, can you help me with an answer?
2,350. 350.
Okay. Now to go and find the answer, I have to divide by. Just be careful, there's an inequality, no problem. I'm not dividing by a negative. So, answer please.
15,66.
Ooh, can that be possible? Okay, 6, 7, or recurring 6, right? Can that be possible with N? Now remember, N has to be a year. They're asking me after how many years will his expenses be more? So that will be after. So somewhere in the middle of the 15th year, or to the end, it's going to become a problem for him. That his expenses are going to be more. So after how many years will it not work anymore? After 6. But he's not going to tell them, please don't give me the money. At least he's got something, but he's still got some expenses to cover. So that after 16 years, that will be my answer.